think you are? No, seriously, who do you think you are? Where do you get the gall, the audacity to think that you could be a thought leader? Where do you get the gall, audacity to think that you could write a book, that anybody would want to listen to you? What makes you think that somebody would pay you to stand on stage and tell them their story? What makes you think that you could pull this off? Have you done this before? Where have you done this before? Like, what makes you think it could work with these specific high-level people? And what I have learned answering that for myself through that process is something I know can help you, as you might be grappling yourself with this huge question of what makes you think that you could be a thought leader? Who gave you permission? Who's died and told you you could just take over and be a thought leader at the level of, pick your favorites, at a level of like Malcolm Gladwell or a level of Oprah Winfrey? Who told you that you're that person? Girl, I'm here to tell you, unless you have the gumption and the gall to tell you, you will never, ever, ever be able to step into those shoes, those big girl shoes, and become the kind of published author, the kind of paid multiple 6-5-figure speaker that you deserve to be, and where your intellectual property is working around you on making paydays for you every single day when you're not even out at work. Who do you think you are? Who do I think you are? I think you're who's got next.
To speak like a boss, let's get into your most powerful story. Because your story matters.
Okay, but why do people want to hear about that? I hear what you're saying, but I just don't see how this would resonate with other people. Like, it sounds interesting, but like, have you tried this before? Have you tested this on anyone else? Or is this just something like just sitting in, like that you're just workshopping right now, live? Okay. The level of discomfort that I felt when somebody asked me, essentially, who do you think you are? Have you tried this before? What makes you think that this would work? Has this been tested anywhere? Are we just gonna be guinea pigs? And this was a high power woman executive who loved to preach about being a woman executive and what she brought to leading other women at a multi-billion-dollar corporation. We were pitching her for a very specific program that we wanted her and her organization to come in on. And the thing that she asked me was, have you done this before? What makes you think that this could work? And what I want to talk about is not only the doubt that comes from folks outside looking in, but what happens when that doubt becomes super loud because it is self-doubt, right? At some point, the voice of that woman, for sure, when I was creating this program, it crept in and it became a very loud inner voice of self-doubt. Who do you think you are? What makes you think that you could pull this off? Have you done this before? Where have you done this before? Like, what makes you think it could work with these specific high-level people? And what I have learned answering that for myself through that process is something I know can help you, as you might be grappling yourself with this huge question of what makes you think that you could be a thought leader? Who gave you permission? Who's died and told you you could just take over and be a thought leader at the level of, pick your favorites, at a level of like Malcolm Gladwell or a level of Oprah Winfrey? Who told you that you're that person? Girl, I'm here to tell you, unless you have the gumption and the gall to tell you, you will never, ever, ever be able to step into those shoes, those big girl shoes, and become the kind of published author, the kind of paid multiple 6, 5-figure speaker that you deserve to be, and where your intellectual property is working around you on making paydays for you every single day when you're not even out at work. Who do you think you are? Who do I think you are? I think you're who's got next. And unless you decide that for yourself, we're all going to be robbed of that exact juice and amazingness that you're capable of. Let's go back to that example that I shared with you. So one of the things that I learned and the way that I answered this woman is, number one, I am the test product. The program that I was creating, I knew that it could work because I was speaking to myself and meeting a need that I had myself. So I myself was the test candidate. I was the ideal customer for exactly what we were creating, right? And I had also done so much of my homework. I knew the caliber of the kinds of people that they had because I had been that student. Hello, I had also been that young professional that they had in their leadership programs, and I knew the kinds of questions that they were dealing with, and I also understood how little equipped they were to make the high stakes decisions that they needed to make with integrity. So number one, I put myself out there. I was like, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am the test case. I have lived this. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I designed this program knowing what I needed in those moments when I needed the support. So that's number one, right? Just answering and being as blunt as possible of like, I know because I am, right? And number two, and this is the real big aha that took me many years, by the way, to learn and to understand and to live into. My job wasn't just answering that question. My job was, once it became the inner critic who was full of self-doubt and who was constantly asking, who do you think you are? Why would anybody listen to you? What makes you think you can be a thought leader? My job, biggest job, has been both to become her, to step and to live first on faith, right? And to embody what I'm talking about completely, to believe so deeply that my entire being, my body, my spirit, everything has dove into a place that is further than where I currently am. To fully embody, that is number one. And then to number two, to marry that embodiment with action. What do I mean by that? I mean two different things. To believe is not the same as to do. Action is not the same as doing. And one of the ways that we go at self-doubt is through action, right? We get really, really busy with like, well, yeah, who do I think I am to be a thought leader? But I'm gonna work on this book. I'm gonna like wake up every single day and I'm gonna do all of the things, write this chapter, I'm gonna get this book proposal out, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna shake hands, I'm gonna meet agents, I'm going to meet publishers, I'm going to do, action. I'm going to do as much as I can to quell this self-doubt. But let me tell you something, self-doubt is not just about action. Self-doubt is about a belief that is so much deeper. It lives at the back of your thinking brain. It lives at the back of your rational brain. It lives at the place of your reptilian brain. So what you need to do is go after that reptilian brain and to change the programming in there. And the way that you do that is you go at it through belief. You go at it through your beingness, how you be, not what you do. Does that make sense? How you be is what you believe, and who you are when you're not doing anything. That's how you be. Can you change that? That's not action. That is going back here to reptilian brain. That is somatic work. That is getting into your body. That is aligning your spirit with your body. That is training your brain to catch up to where your spirit is, because your spirit now is already living in your future. and your body needs to catch up to where you're going to be in the future. Does that make sense? And your body is the place where all the action happens. So now when you start taking action, because notice I didn't say stop taking action, right? You still need to do the things that are action-based, the things that look like getting up early or maybe staying up really late to write an extra chapter, the things that look like sending out extra emails, pitching to different agents, speaking on different panels, speaking on different podcasts, pitching podcasts. That's all action. You still need to do all of that, but you need to do it with a body and a brain that is catching up to the belief that you're already embodying. So number one is to be it, to completely convince all of you that I am it. That is what quells the self-doubt. And then the action just reinforces what is already true because you've already decided. And the more reps you get with action that is matched to this energy field of like, but I believe, my actions actually match up to my belief. I promise you, not only will the self-doubt melt away, but the results that you're working towards, that magic then begins coming in. Once that program got up and running, I was so surprised, not only by this woman, this chief she was a very big executive, like I said, at an organization that you would definitely recognize if I said the name, a multi-billion-dollar organization. She became one of our biggest champions for the organization and the programming that we were doing, because there was no room for any of her doubt. There was no room for the kinds of questions that she was initially raising of like, what makes you think that you can do this? Who do you think you are? And the most important thing that I want to share isn't about that woman and how she became an advocate, but it is about myself and the inner work and that self-doubt and how quiet it got in there. There was just crickets, like you couldn't hear anything because I did it, right? And I did it first by embodying, first by believing, and then let me show you through these actions. If this is helpful to you, I would love to hear from you. I offer this exact kind of work that is about somatic training, that is about getting our mind trained and our body to where we catch up to our future self. That is exactly the kind of work, alongside the practicalities and the strategies and the action steps that you're definitely going to need. And trust me, I've been there. I have a book that I've put out. I have been paid to speak on huge stages. I've spoken alongside folks like the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. I've spoken alongside folks like Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel, right? I've spoken at the London School of Economics, at the BBC, etc., etc. My book has been picked up and given all kinds of rave reviews by The Guardian, by the New York Times. So I know the technicalities, I understand the action steps that you need to do in order to become a thought leader, but I understand maybe even more viscerally how much of this work is about your spirit, how much of this work is about quelling self-doubt. Who do you think you are? Well, I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. You are the kind of badass, total baddie, woman of color, creator, executive, leader, founder, who is stepping into her thought leadership era. It would be such an honor to work alongside you. I offer one-on-one coaching. All of the details are available in the show notes. I hope to hear from you. I don't take on a lot of clients all the time, but I hope that you're exactly the person that I've been waiting to serve. In fact, I know it. I believe it and I know it. My name is Malcolm. I also offer, and I'm the host of a podcast called Madam Speaker Says, that drops every Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we get into it with all of the baddies. You definitely want to hear that conversation, and I hope you join us wherever you like to get your podcasts. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, pull up. Just you and me for a second. Are you an exec, a founder, or an entrepreneur who's sick of shrinking in rooms you're overqualified to lead? It's time to stop playing small and start owning your expertise. But how, Machochodi? Girl, I got you. I offer coaching that helps women of color just like you to claim your place as a thought leader. Whether you want to command a room, craft and share your signature story, or finally get that book out of your head and onto bookshelves, I've got the strategy and spicy accountability that you need. If you're tired of seeing less qualified folks shine while you stay behind the scenes, girl, the wait list is open. Follow the link in show notes to stop waiting for permission and claim your VIP spot now. My mission? Helping women just like you to snatch the spotlight, shake the table, and take your damn seat at the top already. No begging, no detours, and nope, no apologies. Just bold ass moves.